Welcome back to News Diary. I want us to now take a look at a spice interview that was done with Seth Panyako, who is the Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Nurses. He was talking about party versus taxation. Let's take a look at that.
On KTN Home and YouTube and Facebook, the conversations continue on this final day of May 2023. We're now waiting to usher in June, and in June, KTN Home relaunches new programs coming up on KTN Home. New look of KTN Home and new ways of consuming content on KTN Home. You can follow us on our social media handles, KTN Home, at KTN Home on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. And come tomorrow, you will see what KTN Home will look like going forward. You'll enjoy the best program. When we say welcome home, we mean welcome home. Also this Saturday, you know, as we're coming into June things are happening. This Saturday we're also running.
Yes, we are running for good cause, and with the annual Matter Heart Run, making sure that children who have congenital heart disease or, you know, one problem or the other, and also come from low or no income households, then have an opportunity or another shot at life. So the Matter Heart Run comes together every year to try and raise some money for hundreds of thousands of children. The number this year is 140,000 they hope can be targeted. The amount that we're looking for is 120 million. So a t-shirt that you buy for 1,000 shillings, or a cap that you buy for 500, or a wristband that you buy for 300 shillings at any of your Naivas supermarkets will contribute toward this number. It'll make sure that children in need of this heart treatment can get it. June 3rd, come out in numbers and run.
Yes, indeed. We have a new guest joining us in the studio. Seth Panyako is the Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, and he is also the registered Vice Chairman of UDA Party. Good morning.
Good morning.
Karibu sana to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you.
That's the hot seat of the Situation Room. Make yourself comfortable.
I'm really comfortable.
Very good. To make you even more comfortable, CT will give you the day's proverb.
Yes, our proverbs for the whole of this week come from the country of Madagascar. Today's proverb is as follows. When the king reigns, it is thanks to the people. When the river sings, it is thanks to the stones.
When the king reigns, it's thanks to the people. When the river sings, it's thanks to the stone. Seth, what do you make of this proverb?
I'm not a philosopher, but when you have a good king, of course, the people will be happy because the king will be ruling in a way that promotes the interest of the people. But if the king is not a good king, then he will be sinking those stones. It means that if you're not good, you will now be living with the autocratic leadership. People will not be happy, and you'll be sinking the country. That is how I look at it. Yeah.
Good. Seth, are you still in UDA?
Legally, I'm still in UDA, but socially and politically, I have left the party.
Socially and politically?
Yeah. But legally, I'm still.
Okay. Let's start with the social and political. What happened?
Yeah, on Friday, last Friday around 7:20 p.m., actually I was at the airport. I was boarding the plane to go home. I received a phone call from the president, and he told me he's under pressure from his people, those people who surround him. And I think there's a group of about 5 people from one ethnic community that believe that they should control everything around the president. And so he told me, you are opposing all the programs of the government, especially the housing levy and other things like VAT on fuel and many other things. And he told me it was not tenable for you to continue to be an official of the party when you are opposing the programs of the party. So I told him, in short, you were saying you want me to leave? He said, yes. Then I told him, oh, that one I grant you. On Monday, you'll get my resignation letter. But I've not resigned since then because of other things that emerged after that. Yes.
So the president called you, and he was telling you that he's getting pressure from the other officials of the party.
He said, I'm getting a lot of pressure from people. Of course, I don't know whether the official of the party or the cartels around him. I'm not quite sure.
This clearly shows that you and the president speak regularly.
We used to before elections. But after elections, I think that was the first phone call he called me to tell me that I should perhaps be leaving the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that must not be the first meeting that you've held with the president since he assumed office.
Yeah, that was the first phone call. We have not been communicating. In fact, communication was cut immediately he became the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as a party, you have met as a party, as leadership of the party. Have you not?
Since
Well, since after the election.
no, we meet only to come and rub stamp some things that have happened. You know, the party, we don't meet to, like the other time we met was to come and accept Malala as the SG. And we come and we are told this is the SG, these are the changes, and you are in State House. And you are told go and announce, and we go and announce. Those are the kind of meetings we've been having. There has been no meetings where the National Executive Council of the party is given something to discuss and make a decision.
Okay.
Decisions are made. Your work is to go and approve them.
So was the president... Can we assume that the president was actually calling you to try and persuade you to see his side on why he needs, for example, the kind of proposals that he's put forth to run the government and deliver on the UDA manifesto?
No. He was calling to tell me to leave his party because I do not agree with his program for the government.
Okay.
The president, I don't think, has time for any divergent views on what he believes in. I don't think he listens to anybody. I think he listens to himself.
Okay. What are these issues that you do not agree with?
You know, political conmanship in this country must end. And that is what we were telling people. When we were campaigning, we wrote on the issue of lowering the cost of living. And we said one of the things we are going to do was to remove the 8% on VAT. You know, petroleum products are taxed in Kenya up to around 60%. So we told the people that we remove VAT from petroleum products to lower the petroleum product, and the net effect will be the lower the cost of living, because petroleum products affect our production in all aspects. Now today we are telling people, no, we're not going to lower, we're going to double it. Now where Uhuru left it from 8% to 16%. We told people that we will do affordable housing programs and create employment. We never said that we are going to use workers' money to do those affordable housing. Because if we told workers that we're going to remove 3% from your salary to do housing project, then workers will not have voted for Kenya Kwanza. So we deceived them. We deceived the Kenyans. And that's why I'm saying politicians must stick to what they promise to their own people. Not when you are now in office and you start doing your own things. Me as Panyako, I will not be supporting.
Let me take you back a few steps, Seth, even before, because you were here before the election, when the campaigns were in full swing, full throttle. You said a number of things. You pushed for it. Is it possible that there was deception in the offing, as you said, and then in a few short months after an election, that somebody is then able to turn completely, and you had no idea that, as you say, it was just a ruse to get people to vote for a particular government, and then after they would turn the tables? Absolutely possible that you did not know about this?
In fact, is there anything you want me to add? That is the exact situation. That is what it is. This is political conmanship. I said it before. You tell somebody that we are going to, you tell Kenyans, we reduce the cost of living by ensuring that VAT on fuel is removed. We'll do affordable houses. You don't tell workers that we're going to get money from you. You are taxing almost everything. And when you look at those taxes regime, you see, like to import a helicopter, they are removing 15% on importing of helicopters. Who imports helicopters in this country? It is themselves. They have no interest for the common man. They have interest for themselves. And that's why any Kenyan who is bothered about the lives of the Kenyan must look at the finance bill clearly. And you will see that it's meant to protect those who have. Those who do not have are to be milked until they die.
Seth, is there something else that you're angry about?
Very many things. You know, clearly, as you said, what we promised people is now upside down. Now people have gotten to office, they don't consult. You see, if I am a member of the National Executive Council of UDA, I believe that the policy of the government, like the budget, the government should have brought those proposals to the party. Discuss with the National Executive Council, let us see what you want to do, then we agree with it. So that when I live there as a member of the National Executive Council, I'm able to defend what is being presented to Parliament or to the government for approval. But this is a situation where people sit, make decisions, and they expect you to support those decisions. Workers of this country are being overtaxed. Look at the National Health Insurance Fund. They want to move it from where it is to 2.75. Initially, we had a medical allowance that was removed from the pay slips of all civil servants in Kenya, where they started a program they were calling Comprehensive Medical Scheme for Civil Servants. That about 4,000 was removed from the pay slip of all civil servants. That money has disappeared. We don't have that comprehensive medical scheme today. We used to have mortgage. We have money for mortgage at the public Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Youth. Billions of shillings for mortgage and car loan. That money is lying there. Now they are telling you, instead of you worker going to get money from that program where you are charged 3% interest for operation cost alone, because that was money that was put there by the government for the purpose of civil servants getting to build their own houses. Now they are telling you, we'll get 3% from you to build houses for those who don't have. Now, we were told when we were campaigning that we are preaching class war. Now, class war is being legalized. You are now being told you have a payslip. You have a right to build a house for that one who doesn't have a payslip. Very soon, people in the village will start saying, these people with the payslips are eating or sleeping hungry. They will come tomorrow to your house to ask you, we want to eat because of our payslip. This is the class war. I don't know whether the president is aware of what he's doing. He's bringing a bigger problem than what he can see. And if there's people around him who don't see these things we're seeing, then he has nobody around him to advise him.
When did you join UDA?
I think I joined UDA before it was formed, because we started working with the president before UDA was formed. And it was actually there, but it's not with us. So when ultimately it was formed, I joined UDA.
So you were among the first people
exactly
to actually move with the then deputy president into this vehicle.
Yes.
And it was to be the vehicle to be used to campaign and seek power.
Exactly.
So you were very much involved in the inner workings of the campaign team.
You see, to sell UDA in Kakamega was not, and generally in West Province, was not easy. But through some of us, like where I come from, my constituency, I managed to move.
Where do you come from?
Malaba Constituency. I managed to paint Malaba yellow. And you know, apart from the inbricks happened, let me talk about the votes that were recorded. What was recorded for the president was 28,000 votes. Raila Odinga 29,000 votes. For my own effort. There is no any other sub-county or constituency in Kakamega that went above 15,000 votes. That was my effort. And if those cartels around the president refused me to go around the county and the constituency and the region, if I had been given a chance to go around Kakamega County and the entire region, I have a great say, and people trust me. You know, trust is more important than even wealth.
But you're the vice chairman of the party. What do you mean by people who are refusing?
Because I did not have the means. You know, you cannot go campaign when you don't have you must have fuel to move around. But when you're given, the money is given, go and do this campaign with Panyako, then some cartel sit somewhere and isolate you. You remain alone, and that's why you're confined in Malaba. And I delivered Malaba. But these cartels who ran away with the campaign money never delivered Kakamega.
Who are these cartels?
They were there. Let us not go
Are
there.
They members of the party?
Some of them were not, because you know we're in a coalition now. We had Fort Kenya, we had ANC, and we had other small parties. But in Kakamega, we had ANC, Fort Kenya, and UDA.
Okay. So did you participate in putting together the thinking that went into the manifesto for Kenya Kwanza?
We did, because, but that manifesto is not the one being implemented.
Okay, let's start with the manifesto that was presented.
We did that.
Did you write the manifesto? Did you participate in?
We did, because I remember we had a meeting in Naivasha for the Western region leaders and businessmen and opinion leaders and farmers. and we came up with what we wanted for our region. If we could form government, and needed formed government. And we believe that what we told the president is going to be part and parcel of his manifesto or deliverable when he becomes a president.
Right.
We did that. Some of the things that we were talking about in agriculture, value added, now that value added has disappeared. Have you heard anybody talk about value added? People are just talking about taxes, center, left, right. Yeah.
But there was housing.
Housing was there,
It was a big one.
It's a good idea. But let me tell you, there's nothing new about affordable housing program. President Uhuru Kenyatta left a affordable housing program in place. When you go to Ngara, the house is being built. We have a lot of money already, which can be used for affordable housing program. I have said we have, like the board of Lab Fund where I sit, we have billions. The other day we were launching affordable housing programs at South Sea with the president. That was not that is workers' money, but not being overtaxed from the pension schemes, because pension schemes invest heavily in estates, and then they sell or they rent out to make income for the members. We have a new scheme called Public Servant Superannuation Scheme. It has operated for less than 6 months. It has 46 billion today, less than 6 months. We have now NSSF, which has been given 12%. That money can be used. Government can provide free land, and then the houses can be built, then they become affordable. Then the money, the little profit that's gotten from them, comes back to the fund for members who are retiring to get. We have Lab Fund, we have Lab Trust, and we have CPF. All these are pension schemes where money for workers are being contributed. Then we have public-private partnership, which President Uhuru Kenyatta was doing very well. So when you look at all this money that's available, and you see somebody still wants to get money from workers, when he has not told us what is available in our pension scheme is not enough, then you see it's malicious. We're not even being told where the housing levy, the money is going to go. Hatuambiwi kama ni sako, hatuambiwi kama ni merry-go-round, hatuambiwi kama ni pension scheme, hatuambiwi kama ni nini. This money, even if it's deducted today, on which account is it going to go? We're not being told the custodian will be National Housing, it's called National Housing Fund. Corporation. We've not been told. We've not been told it's going to go to Ministry of Treasury. We've not been told where it's going to go. So it's money that the government is creating to steal from the workers. Period. Nothing else.
That's a strong statement. We had PS for housing, Charles Hinger here, and the question that you've responded to was asked of him. And he said that everything that you've mentioned, yes, hasn't been done, but will be done. He said the introduction and the discussion around the housing fund is just that. But for the money to actually be deducted, for it to be collected, the structure within which those monies will be nestled are yet to be created, and he said they will be created before that money is actually deducted.
So do you put structures in place first, or you get money first? Because now this is May. June is next. This is May.
Yeah,
it is May. June. This is the last day of tomorrow. Tomorrow is June.
And this finance bill, if it goes through, it comes effect from first. People will be taking money on first. Where will it go? Where are those infrastructure that have been created for the money to be collected? And this is billions. It's not small money. So we are saying that, yes, affordable housing program is something that is supported by everybody, by all of us. All of us want to have homes, but how is it supposed to be implemented? Workers are not supposed to be used as a milking cow to get money for purported government programs. Look here, the employers have gone and they have said they don't want to pay, and they have agreed with the government secretly, and they have signed an agreement that they will not contribute. But for you as a worker, no one is there to defend you. When we defend, like myself, I've come so strongly. You know what they are doing? Oh, we want to create another union for the nurses so that we kill Panyako. Government has refused to think. It is thinking of how to ruin Panyako. You can ruin me. I can go anywhere in this world and I'll survive. I have been in the union only 10 years, and I've lived more than 40 years. So you see, I've lived about 50 years now. So that's not something that is going to resolve the resolve of the workers to defend their rights and say no to housing levy, no to NHIF increases. Why are we supporting NSSF? We're not crying much about NSSF because NSSF, ideally, we have other companies that do not have any retirement program for their workers. Okay. Even some of the trade unions, we have employees, and we do not have programs for retirement packages. Though my union has it, we are members of Lab Fund. So we feel like it's extremely important for those workers to force those employers who do not have a retirement scheme for the employees to have something to retire and go home. That's why we're not fighting NSSF. It's a good thing. And for those who are in lap fund and those who are in public servants pension scheme, they are not being deducted tier 2 and above. So that one is an issue resolved, and we are supporting it as workers. But NHIF, NSSF, we have already 4,000 shillings have been taken from our pay slips. Mortgage has gone. We had car loan, it has gone. Now, instead of them telling us where the money went, they are telling us now they want us to start to deduct 3% so that those who don't have houses can get houses. When Hinga was asked, how will I get that house? He said, you'll do a lottery. You do a lottery. And if you don't get it, and if you get the lottery, you will pay the house at market rate. Because even affordable houses is being done at market rate.
Seth, is it the first time that you've heard of these measures?
No.
Are you
Which
saying
measures?
that during the campaigns, as you were designing your campaign, because you say you were there in the design of the Kenya Kwanza political campaign, as you're designing the campaign, as you're going in your own home constituency and selling this manifesto, you had no idea at all how housing was going to be funded. You had no idea at all what kind of taxes the Kenya Kwanza administration would bring, or what kind of taxes the Kenya Kwanza administration would remove, that you were actually caught by surprise when the finance bill was published. Is that what you're saying?
I'm a stranger to this government. I don't believe it's a government we put in place, because what it is doing is contrary, completely different from what we expected from it. You saw the president was in Namanga, he was in Kakamega, and he was saying, hii mambo ya kuongeza mafuta kila siku hawajui vile inaharibu uchumi wa Kenya. We will remove that 8%. Now he's telling us he's going to increase the 8% to 16%. You know, what kind of, do you think I can tell, if elections were to be held today, government imevunjwa leo, tunasema turudi kutafuta kura, what will I tell my people? What will I tell them? There is no hustler anymore. Which hustler? Hustler is being milked. Center, left, right. If you're not careful, we are headed where we are going to have tax collectors who will move in every village and look for house girls and shamba boys. If they are not paid tax, they are arrested. Because from the way, now you see chamas, these things for kina mamas, chama, merry-go-round, now the chamas are going to be taxed.
Actually, Bwana Panyako, you lived long enough to know that in the Moi era, Harambeidos were enforced.
Yes, those
people would go to villages. People like my grandmother, if you didn't have money, they would take your chicken.
Yes.
You were going to contribute to that Harambee. It was not as though you participated in it.
It was forced.
And there are people who ensured that you participated in it. So, but back to this issue. You cannot say you are not a politician because you are a union leader. Union leaders are politicians.
I have not said I'm not a politician.
Yes. No, I have said you cannot say. I did not say you have said. I said you cannot say, claim to be, not to be a politician. Are we, if I'm listening to you, are we saying that you have come to this firm position that we can no longer excuse things politicians say as political promises, which must be taken with a pinch of salt, and that everything politicians tell us they will do must be taken as ezu?
Exactly. And that's where we parted with my party. You cannot promise people this thing and then you do the opposite. How do you expect me to walk in the village? People wakituona wanatuambia angalia hiyo watu. Hawa ni watu wa UDA. Hawa ndi watu wameanza kututax. Hawa ndi watu wanaongeza mafuta. Hawa ndi watu wameongeza sukari. Hawa watu wameongeza unga. And we told people we'll reduce unga. It has not been reduced. You saw in Busia. When the president was trying to tell people unga is 1 feet, what was he told? Uongo. If you are a president and raia wanakuambia uongo, you know, it is wrong. You should be properly advised if you're a president.